In light of a recent video that I made regarding some expired film that I bought, give you a quick rundown of what to kind of look for and what to avoid when buying expired film. First off, avoid buying expired film. But if that doesn't deter you, we'll start off with something like this. This is Kodak Kodachrome. They don't really make it anymore, nor do they make the KR24 chemicals in which is needed to develop it. So this ostensibly is useless. The other thing we want to point out is the film lead here. I am not too sure what the protocol is for a Kodachrome film lead, but typically normal film leads will stick out something a little bit like this. This is an indication that this film has not been loaded in a camera and then rewound, but if it's only sticking out like this, there is a likelihood that it might have been shot. If you see Kodachrome, it's not really worthwhile. Moving on, we have black and white film, and with something like this, no matter how expired it is, it's probably going to be good. The higher the number here, more grain might be present, but for the most part, there's not going to be any notable shifts in detail. It's pretty simplistic. Somewhere where you can go wrong is something like this, and it is a color positive film, is going to be much more susceptible to aging as there are more layers of emulsion that are going to be affected by light. It can also be affected by things like heat, temperature fluctuations, anything like that. So if the film is stored improperly, there's humidity present, this film will be affected by it. It's usually just not really worth it because the results are not going to be very good. Something I do recommend people look into if they really want that expired color look is something like this. The reason why I would recommend something like this is because of the very low ASA. The less sensitive it is to light, again, less sensitive to heat, less sensitive other things that could affect film over any amount of time that it's been stored. There might be some shift in color, there might be a lot more grain present versus something like this, 800 speed. There are other color films such as 1600. 800 is a little bit more common. It's probably going to have a lot of color shifts that you might not like. You might want to shoot at 400 or at 200 just to be safe. The other thing you want to be on the lookout for is something that comes in a box, because again, you have access to when it was expired. So this is not opened. I don't have to play a guessing game of, does this mean someone shot with it? Does this mean someone shot with it? Who knows? If you want to get into expired film, I look for typically black and white film, or stuff that's been in boxes in relatively good condition, and more importantly, stuff that is good priced. It's just too much of a mixed bag. It's not worth investing a whole lot of money into. Can be fun. It just has now become a lot more expensive. Don't buy expired film, but if you do, watch this video, and I hope it helps.